I think that kind of spurred them and inspired them to get better each time.
I really have no idea how they do that. I mean, I've been in the band for 4 years, and I've never really felt a change at the last minute in myself that, kicks it up a notch. But somehow it just always happens. It's crazy because right before this big event, everyone will be so frustrated and things not going the way you want. And then out of nowhere, it works like magic.
The Kilties are a wonderful group. They work tremendously hard when they put their minds to it, and there was no doubt in my mind that they were going to get their act together at some point and decide, okay, now it's time to work hard and get the job done, and that's exactly what we did.
The rehearsals and the preparation and the audition tape that we had to send to Macy's this year was particularly interesting because they enjoyed our first tape. We knew it wasn't perfect, and we continued to rehearse, but they enjoyed that tape, and they were excited about us coming up there. It's one of my proudest moments. You're sitting in a room with professionals, and they say, that's good.
We take care of business on our end at TIA and when we get to LaGuardia, okay? Also remember, it's already been alluded to by Mrs. Mockerman, but we want to remind you and hit this point home, you will always need a picture ID with you.
The biggest problem with any trip in this day and age is money. In '88, we went to Ireland and back for $1,100. Now, we can't really cross the state line for less than $1,100. It's difficult for anybody to raise $1,100, $1,400. It just becomes cost prohibitive.
I am very much looking forward to the trip. We've been working on the dance and everything for so long. That's just exciting that the day is coming where it all comes together and we can just show the whole nation everything that we've learned. And all my friends were just talking about everything that was happening and stuff, so it just got us all really excited for the trip, and just everything that we get to do is just really exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
I just think it's an experience of a lifetime that she won't ever get again with this group of friends. And I'm excited about the trip they've set up, not just the parade, but to see Broadway, to see the Statue of Liberty, and to go with your friends instead of just your family. Everybody's been emailed, friends, families. We've got the video machine ready, we have the videotapes ready. So yes, we will all be huddled around the TV, hoping that we see them.
Oh, everyone's excited about performing on national television. We're getting ready to practice them 3 o'clock in the morning in front of all the big shots so that they can get all the camera angles set up, and everyone's trying to get on the front line close to the cameras as possible. Everyone really, really excited about everyone, all our family and friends back home seeing us.
Ricky, it's 4:30. What are we doing getting up right now?
It was really exciting, waking up in the middle of the night, and I was really tired. We got on the bus. Everyone was trying to sleep, but you couldn't because you were so excited, and that was fun.
The ride to the airport had to be one of the most, anxious feelings that you ever get. You're on your way to New York. It's just, time has come.
I was just full of energy, a huge adrenaline rush. I just realized, I'm actually leaving. We're going to New York City. I'm going to be in the Macy's parade, and the dream became a reality. The plane was really exciting. That was the first exciting part. We flew Delta Song, and it was just the neatest plane I have ever seen.
The plane was fun because the flight attendants did dances for the safety thing, and then we got to play music and we sang to it.
It was the most amazing airline I've ever been on. It had music trivia, movies and television stations, next to 30 channels. It had radio stations. It was entertaining, to say the least.
When we flew in, I looked out the window and I saw the skyline, and I was just amazed and in awe. It was just larger than life. And to see the Empire State Building, as you're coming in, and then when we landed and we got off, and just that little nip in the air. It was, you know, a change from the humidity that we had here in Florida, and we all bundled up and got ready for the tour.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, dead ahead of us is the Empire. As I mentioned, that green building ahead to your left is in Queens. Now look at the last store coming up on the right, Ralph Lauren's daughter, Dylan.
One of our first stops, we got to do kind of a walking tour of Central Park. And a whole bunch of kids have never seen autumn leaves before. And they were just bending over, picking them up.
It was really pretty. We saw like the color of the leaves was really awesome because you don't really get to see that in Florida. And the ponds and stuff and the different people that were walking around or bike riding and the fountains and stuff. It was really pretty.
The thing that I've been looking forward to seeing the most was the part of Central Park dedicated to John Lennon. And we saw that as soon as we got off the bus, and it was just showed you that immediately you knew the trip was going to be awesome.
The tour was just amazing. I've pretty much lived in Sarasota my whole life, and so here I am in these huge skyscrapers. I didn't even know where the sun was.
Seeing the skyline for the first time. Yeah, I've never really been to a huge city. It was pretty cool just to go across a bridge or something and see the Empire State Building cut into the sky like that. It was pretty sweet. I saw several views of the skyline and got a taste of New York traffic, and it's not something I want to drive in.
We saw the Brooklyn Bridge, we saw Wall Street, downtown. We ate lunch at the pier, and we had our first experience with people peddling watches. All these private entrepreneurs, I guess we'll call them. That was probably the first time I've ever actually seen a street vendor, and for me that was just craziness.
We were actually in front of the NBC store, and all of a sudden there's U2 on this trailer thing. I don't even know what it was, and they're just singing, and there was all these cameras, and we were kind of like, first we were like, what? And we're like, wait a second, that's U2. And everyone started running over, and all of a sudden there was probably 100 people who just showed up out of nowhere. We were like, after everybody got back together, we were basically a bunch of screaming fans, and then we all ran back onto the bus.
Only in New York, on your first day, first hour in New York City, you just see U2 go down the street. And it was funny, and our driver, he was half the trip right there. He said, okay, everybody on the bus will follow him.
He kept trying, he kind of went off from the itinerary a little bit, and he kept trying to find the band. We did drive by them a second time, and then a third time we stopped on the side of the road, got out. He had told a cop where we were from, and the band U2, as they rode by us, we took really good pictures.
Sarasota, Florida. Come on, girls!
They weren't taping at that point, but it was just really cool to get that close to the band, and we weren't even supposed to see them there.
That was just amazing. We were all kind of, rubbing it into the other 3 flights the rest of the day.
The hotel life was kind of restricted. We all wanted to run around and be silly, but we weren't allowed. But by the time you got back to the hotel at night, you were tired. I mean, you had been tromping around the city for 12, 13 hours, and all of a sudden you come back and you're tired.
You couldn't get on the elevator, or else you had to wait for an hour, so you had to climb upstairs, and we were on the 6th floor, and so it was just we had to climb upstairs every time, even after we were so tired from the whole day. We didn't get very much sleep, because I was with 3 of my best friends, so we were just up talking the whole night.
I had 3 really fun roommates, and we had a lot in common. We were all good friends, so we had a pretty good time. We actually brought an Xbox with us, and the people in our pod